queue and stack. Okay, queue and stack both are also my linear data structures. Okay, so we'll start with queue. The queue is also known as FIFO list. FIFO means first in, first out. A simple example, not a simple example. You guys, every guys know about what is queue. Let's say you are going to travel somewhere by train and you are in the queue of ticket, right? You want to take the ticket, few people are already there. So whoever has come first in that particular queue, that particular fellow will get the ticket first, and that fellow will come out from the queue first. After that, anybody has come into the queue, that fellow will come into the queue again, and after that, that will come out. That means whomever, the element which have inserted first in the list or the queue, that particular element will be deleted from the element first. After that, next and next. Simple. Okay, that is the example, simple example, normal practical example of the queue. Okay, so queue is a linear data structure technically, okay, in which insertion is performed at one end, that is called as rear end, and deletion is done at other end, known as front end. So if I'll go with a particular list, you can understand that, let's say this is the window, ticket window. So if person are coming here and up to then you can understand that deletion will be done from the front of the queue. That fellow will get the ticket and it will come out from the queue. After that, the next fellow will go to the ticket and it will come out. So after deletion of the element, this particular person will become the front, or this element will become the front. And if some other person wants to come into the queue, then that particular person will be added himself or herself in the end of the queue, that is rear end. That's why I have told here, as insertion is performed at one end called as rear end. So whatever the last end is there, that particular end is rear end, and whatever the first end is there, that is known as front of the queue. So front and rear, two portions are there, or the two ends of there are there, then insertion can be performed from rear end, deletion can be performed from front end. If we want to perform any insertion in the queue, then that particular insertion can be known as NQ. So insertion or NQ, both are the same thing. Okay, so we are going to discuss now the algorithm for insertion. Now just see what exactly will happen when insertion will be done. Let's say I am having that particular queue. Okay, queue is actually maintained with the help of either an array or with the help of a linked list. Okay, so initially I am going to maintain my queue with the help of array. Okay, so let's say this is my array of size 5, already size will be fixed. Okay, now see what happens is, there is no any element right now. Okay, so index will start from 1. Array's index will start from 1, and if there is no any element, then front and rear both will point or will have index 0, just because there is no any element right now in the queue. When one element will be inserted, first element will be inserted, then let's say I have inserted one element, that is A. So that particular first element will become my front also and rear also. Okay, when I am inserting few more elements, then front will be the same but rear will be increased. Again, let's say I have inserted all 5 elements, front is 1, rear is 5. Now I cannot insert any element. If my queue is full and I cannot insert any new element, then that condition will be known as overflow. So overflow here is what? Front is equal to 1 and rear is equal to 5. that is n. Now it can be possible that I have deleted few items from the front. Let's say I have deleted A from here and B from here. So if I have deleted items A and B from here, then this C will be my front. Two spaces I am having in my this particular queue. I can utilize these two spaces if I will be having a circular queue. Circular queue means this particular rear can now move to the first point also, or the first index also. That means if I am trying to insert an element, then I can try, or I can insert an element that can be F here. Rear will become somewhere here. If I am inserting one more element, let's say I have inserted one more element X, then rear will become this. Now you can understand that one more condition I am having here for overflow, and that condition is front is equal to rear plus 1. If front is equal to rear plus 1, then also I can have the of overflow. Okay, so look at the algorithm first, then we will understand what this algorithm says. Okay, if front is equals to 1 and rear equals to n, that is one case we have seen already, or front is equals to rear plus 1. If any of these two condition is true, then we can say that this is overflow and we'll have to exit. Okay, if front equals to 0, that means there is no any item right now. Then at that particular point we will have to increase front and rear both by 1. We have seen that there is no any item right now in the queue, front and rear both are 0. Then when first item will have to insert, then first item only will be my front and only will be rear. That's why front is equals to rear equals to 1 I have set when front is equals to 0. This is the case where there is no any item in my queue. Else, if front is not equals to 0, then I'll have to check that if rear is equal to n. If rear is equal to pointing to my last pointer, and we know that this is not the case of my overflow, then I'll have to set rear is equal to 1. I'll have to set this particular rear is equal to 1 just because I have to go with my circular queue to utilize the locations or the empty spaces. If this is not the case that rear is equal to n, then rear plus plus. And normal case is what? Rear plus plus. But I can do rear plus plus up to when? Up to n. But if r is equal to n and there is no any overflow, that means I can have some spaces at the starting. So at that case, if n rear equals to n, then I have set rear is equal to 1. And at the end, whatever the rear is there, let's say whatever the rear is there, previous rear was here, now I have updated rear to here. So that particular index will have the new item whatever I wanted to insert and exit. This is the insertion or enqueue. Next is deletion or dequeue. Deletion or dequeue. How we will perform deletion or dequeue? First of all, just see. Let's say there is only one item in my list. Okay, which item? Maybe front and rear both are pointing to first, or front and rear both are pointing to any location. It might possible that front and rear both are pointing to any index, but both will be equal only when there is only one item. So if there is only one item and I want to delete that particular item, then what I'll do, I'll set front and rear both as equal to 0. Okay, so before going to some more detail, I want to go for the underflow condition. Underflow condition means if there is no any item in your queue, then you cannot perform some more deletion. And that particular condition can be front and rear both are pointing to 0. If both are pointing to 0, then only you can say that there is no any item in the queue to delete and there is an underflow. If there is no any underflow, that means there are at least, or there is at least one item which you can delete. So if there is any one item, it can be at least one, it can be two, it can be three. Okay, so we'll look at the algorithm and we'll be able to understand. Algorithm says that if front is equals to 0, write underflow and exit. If front is equals to 0, that means there is no any item in the front of the list and you cannot delete any item. Okay, second statement says that whatever the front element of queue is there, you just copy it into some item so that I can use afterwards. When I'll delete that item, I'll use it somewhere. Okay, so I have saved that particular item into variable item. After that, I have checked that if front is equals to rear. If front is equals to rear, that means there is only one item in my queue. If there is only one item in my queue, then I have set front is equals to rear. Front equals to rear equals to 0. One item I have deleted. If there is not one item in my list, then I'll have to check it. Let's say there are few items in my list. Okay, rear is here and front is here. A, B, C is my queue. It can possible that I have inserted few elements, then deleted few elements, then inserted and deleted, and rear has become the less index than F, the front. So front is pointing to A, that is my nth location. If front is pointing to my nth location, then after deletion of this particular element, I'll have to take my front to first location. So if front is equals to n, then front is equals to 1, I'll have to set. Else I'll have to increase in normal case, front is equals to plus plus. That is the DQ condition or DQ case. Now one question, gate question is there. Try to solve this. I'll give you 1 minute if you will be able to solve this question. Otherwise I'll solve this question. Okay, so question says that a circular linked list is used to represent a queue. Okay, a single variable P is used to access the queue. To which node should P point such that both the operations NQ and DQ can be performed in constant time? Okay, options are rear node, front node, not possible with single pointer, node next to front. Now just see, they want to perform NQ and DQ both, okay, in a singly circular linked list to maintain the queue. Now they are just giving me only one pointer P. With the help of one pointer, I will have to maintain insertion and deletion both. So we can see here, if I want to delete an item, that particular item I'll have to delete, that is the front one. Item, front node I'll have to delete. If I want to delete the front node, then I should know about the predecessor node of the front. If I don't know the rear node address, then I will not be able to delete the front node. We have seen already. So my first guess says that my P should point to rear node. If my P should point to rear node, then deletion can be done in constant time easily. Just set as rear is equal to rear's next. So rear's next is what? Or rear's link is what? Front, and its link is what? This one. So rear's next will be updated by rear's next or rear's links, and deletion will be done. Front element or front will be deleted. But if I want to insert an element, that particular insertion will be done after this node, after rear node. And we have already seen one algorithm that will insert a new item after the given node. So if P address I am knowing, this particular address of rear node I am knowing, then I can insert a new element here itself, no problem at all. So according to the observations, option A should be the correct one. We should have pointer to rear node so that we can perform both the operations in constant time. If we will have our pointer P at front node, then we cannot perform the same insertion and deletion both on the constant time, just because to get the answer or to get the address of rear node, I'll have to traverse complete linked list, and that will be dependent on the length of my linked list. So option A is the correct one for the question.